Have you ever opened the fridge, grabbed some leftovers from yesterday, popped them into the microwave, and thought you were making a smart, economical, and healthy choice? We've all done it cooking in bulk to save time, reheating in minutes, and feeling good about eating sensibly. But what few people realize is that some common foods can actually become harmful when reheated, silently damaging your body and leading to serious issues like cancer, digestive problems, and even memory or brain function decline. For younger people, the body is often strong enough to handle some of these toxins, but after 60, everything changes. The digestive system slows down, the liver and kidneys lose some of their detoxifying power, and nerve and immune cells become more sensitive to oxidative stress. This means that seemingly harmless habits like reheating a bowl of vegetable soup, a plate of eggs, or leftover roasted chicken can create a cumulative effect, gradually weakening your body without you even noticing. Nutrition experts have long warned that food isn't just about what you eat, it's also about how you cook, store, and reheat it. A healthy meal can turn harmful from just a small mistake in how it's handled after cooking. What's even more concerning is that these risks often come from the most familiar foods, the ones you eat every week or even every day. In this video, we'll explore 5 common foods that experts warn should never be reheated because they can transform into harmful compounds that seriously affect your health. All of this is backed by credible medical research, and more importantly, I'll show you safer ways to enjoy your favorite dishes without putting your body at risk. So if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, don't skip this video because what you're about to learn could change the way you cook and help protect your health for many years to come. First on the list is spinach, often called the king of greens. Rich in vitamins A, C, and K, along with iron, folate, and powerful antioxidants, spinach shows up in countless dishes, morning smoothies, lunchtime salads, and hearty vegetable soups for dinner. For many people, it's the ultimate can't-go-wrong food when it comes to health. But few realize that one simple habit, reheating cooked spinach, can quietly turn this nutritious vegetable into a hidden health risk, especially for older adults. The problem lies in one of spinach's natural components, nitrate. In its natural form, nitrate is completely harmless and even beneficial. Once inside the body, it helps dilate blood vessels, improve circulation, and lower blood pressure. Many studies have also shown that the nitrates found in leafy greens can enhance physical performance and reduce inflammation. However, trouble begins when nitrate-rich vegetables are cooked, cooled, and then reheated, especially in the microwave or at high temperatures. That's when chemical reactions occur. Nitrates convert into nitrites, and those can further transform into nitrosamines compounds classified by the World Health Organization, WHO, and the U.S. National Cancer Institute as potential carcinogens in humans. And it doesn't stop there. Recent studies have also revealed a link between nitrosamines and brain function decline. These compounds increase oxidative stress and trigger neuroinflammation, contributing to the degeneration of brain cells, a key factor associated with conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. For people over 60, as the brain's protective barriers naturally weaken, repeated exposure to even small amounts of these microscopic toxins can have lasting effects over time. Imagine a very familiar situation. Over the weekend, you cook a big pot of vegetable soup with spinach, planning to enjoy it over the next few days. Each meal, you scoop out a small portion and reheat it in the microwave until hot. The soup still smells delicious and seems full of nutrients, or so you think. But after a few rounds of reheating, the nitrates in the spinach have already transformed. If you keep that habit week after week, month after month, those tiny amounts of nitrosamines can gradually accumulate in your body, leading to chronic inflammation and affecting both your nervous and digestive systems. The frightening part is you won't notice it right away. There are no clear symptoms, no pain, no fatigue, just a gradual decline. Your body feels weaker, your immunity drops, your memory fades, and most people simply assume it's just age. But in reality, part of the cause may come from that seemingly harmless habit of reheating certain foods. Fortunately, the solution is simple. You don't have to cut spinach out of your diet. It's still one of the best vegetables for older adults. You just need to adjust how you cook and store it. Eat spinach fresh or right after it's cooked. Don't leave it overnight. If you must store it, refrigerate it immediately after it cools and reheat only once, at a low temperature. If the dish can be eaten cold, even better, try a spinach salad with olive oil or a light chilled soup. Avoid using the microwave on high power, and never leave cooked spinach at room temperature for more than 2 hours before refrigerating. Remember, a healthy meal doesn't depend only on the ingredients, but also on how you cook and store it. And with spinach, the so-called superfood, the difference between nutritious and harmful can sometimes come down to one simple decision: whether or not you press the reheat button. Next on the list is potatoes, a staple in almost every kitchen. From creamy mashed potatoes at dinner, to crispy roasted wedges on the weekend, to golden breakfast fries, this humble tuber has long been considered a comfort food favorite. Easy to cook, delicious, and full of energy, it's no surprise that potatoes find their way into meals almost every day. But behind their familiar appearance lies a lesser-known truth. Once cooked, cooled, and reheated, potatoes can become a perfect breeding ground for harmful bacteria, and in some cases, can even produce toxins that affect the nervous system. When potatoes are cooked, the starch inside them transforms into an easily digestible form. However, if they're left to cool for too long at room temperature or stored improperly, those starches undergo a process called retrogradation, turning into what's known as resistant starch. In small amounts, resistant starch can be beneficial, feeding the good bacteria in your gut. But if the potatoes become contaminated during this stage, reheating them later can turn into a health disaster. The greatest danger comes from a bacterium called Clostridium botulinum, the culprit behind botulism, a rare but extremely serious form of food poisoning. This bacterium thrives in low oxygen, moist, and starchy environments that cooked potatoes provide perfectly, especially when they're wrapped in foil after baking and left to cool slowly. When this happens, the bacteria can produce a powerful neurotoxin, botulinum toxin, a substance with no smell, taste, or color, yet capable of causing nausea, dizziness, muscle paralysis, and even death in sufficient amounts. For older adults, this risk becomes even more concerning. By the age of 60 or 70, the body's defenses are no longer as strong as they once were. The immune system weakens, stomach acid decreases, and the ability to digest food and filter toxins slows down. As a result, even a small amount of bacteria or toxin can have a significant impact. Moreover, scientists have discovered that gut bacteria and toxins can affect the brain through what's known as the gut-brain axis. This means that disturbances in the digestive system can trigger neuroinflammation, increasing the risk of dementia or Parkinson's disease. Something as simple as reheating leftover potatoes can, over time, contribute to problems most of us would never suspect. This doesn't mean you should stop eating potatoes. They remain a wonderful food rich in potassium, fiber, and a steady source of energy for the body. The key is simply in how you store and reheat them. If you cook a large batch, cool any leftovers quickly, place them in an airtight container, and refrigerate them immediately. Never leave foil-wrapped potatoes at room temperature for more than 2 hours. When reheating, use the stove or oven at a low temperature to ensure the potatoes are heated evenly. And one crucial rule: never reheat them multiple times. If your potatoes have been in the fridge for more than 2 to 3 days or show signs of dryness, sourness, or discoloration, throw them out rather than trying to salvage them. These small steps may sound simple, but for older adults, they're powerful choices for long-term health protection. Many studies show that eating improperly reheated foods can trigger low-grade internal inflammation that lasts for years, gradually weakening the body. And just by changing one small habit like how you store your potatoes, you can protect yourself from a hidden source of toxins that most people never think about. Potatoes may be called comfort food, but let them truly bring comfort to both your taste buds and your health. Because sometimes what harms our body isn't what we eat, but how we handle it after the meal is over. Make a small change today, and your body will thank you for it in the years to come. Third on the list is eggs, long regarded as golden food for health. Affordable, easy to cook, and packed with nutrients, eggs are a staple in nearly every kitchen. Whether it's a boiled egg for breakfast, a fried egg for lunch, or egg salad for dinner, this simple ingredient always feels convenient and nourishing. One egg contains nearly every essential nutrient, high-quality protein, vitamins D and B12, iron, and especially choline, a compound that enhances memory and supports brain function. But there's one common habit few people notice: reheating cooked eggs. And this seemingly harmless habit can completely alter the nutritional value of eggs, even turning them into a source of inflammation, cardiovascular strain, and memory decline in older adults. The problem lies in the chemical structure of the proteins and cholesterol within the egg. When eggs are first cooked, heat causes the proteins to unfold and restructure a natural process called denaturation. This makes the egg firm and easier to digest. However, when already cooked eggs are reheated, especially in the microwave or at high temperatures, the protein and cholesterol molecules begin to oxidize. This process converts cholesterol into oxystrols, highly inflammatory compounds that can damage blood vessel walls, promote atherosclerosis, and, over time, even affect brain health. A study published in the Journal of Lipid Research found that long-term consumption of foods containing oxystrols increases the risk of heart disease and cognitive decline. Oxystrols not only damage blood vessels but also affect nerve cells, triggering inflammatory responses in the brain, a factor considered a spark for conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. For adults over 60, as the body's natural antioxidant defenses weaken, these compounds can accumulate more easily, causing cellular damage that the body can no longer repair effectively. In addition, reheating eggs in the microwave causes the proteins in the egg whites to denature even further, leading to a loss of digestibility. Many people notice that reheated eggs become rubbery, dry, or carry a faint sulfur smell, a clear sign that the proteins have broken down. Once inside the body, these altered proteins are harder to digest and can cause bloating or discomfort, especially in older adults with a more sensitive digestive system. The good news is that you don't have to give up eggs. They remain an excellent food when used correctly. Cook only what you need for each meal and avoid leaving them overnight. If you need to prepare ahead, boil the eggs and store them in the refrigerator, but eat them cold rather than reheating. Cold egg salads, egg sandwiches, or chopped boiled eggs served with greens are all safe and delicious options. If you really must warm them, use a pan or small pot over low heat instead of the microwave. And most importantly, never reheat eggs more than once. Nutrition experts also recommend that adults over 60 pay closer attention to hidden inflammation, the small, silent injuries occurring within blood vessels and cells that cause no pain or visible symptoms. Consuming oxidized foods, even in small amounts, can accelerate aging and contribute to earlier memory decline. So each time you hold an egg in your hand, remember this: what makes it healthy isn't just the egg itself, it's how you cook and eat it. A fresh egg, gently boiled and eaten right after cooking, provides clean, easily absorbed protein that nourishes both the brain and the heart. But that very same egg, when reheated at high temperatures, can silently produce compounds your body may end up paying for years down the road. So let eggs remain your friend in health, not the hidden reason behind fatigue or memory decline. Good health in later life often comes down to the smallest choices, and sometimes it's as simple as deciding not to press the reheat button one more time. Fourth on the list is chicken, one of the foods most often considered safe for health. High in protein, low in fat, and easy to digest, it's a staple in the diets of older adults, fitness enthusiasts, and anyone trying to maintain a healthy weight. From roasted and boiled to stewed, chicken appears in almost every kitchen. But here's what few people realize: reheating cooked chicken, especially in the microwave or at high temperatures, can quietly turn this nutritious meal into a source of inflammation and digestive disturbance, something older bodies often fail to notice until it's too late. When chicken is first cooked, heat causes its protein chains to unfold and restructure, making them easier for the body to absorb. This is a natural process that helps tenderize the meat and improve digestion. However, when cooled chicken is reheated, especially in the microwave, those proteins undergo a second transformation. The chains contract tightly, becoming tougher, harder to digest, and can form compounds known as advanced glycation end products, AGEs. Scientists refer to these as chronic inflammatory agents, the root cause behind many age-related diseases, such as diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, heart disease, and, most notably, memory decline. Ages form when the proteins and fats in meat are exposed to high heat, especially during roasting, frying, or repeated reheating. Once inside the body, these molecules attach to tissues and cells, causing them to age faster, damaging blood vessels, and triggering widespread inflammation. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly consume foods high in ages had 35% higher levels of systemic inflammation compared to those who ate fresh, minimally processed foods. As a result, every time you eat reheated food, especially chicken, your body accumulates a little more inflammation, quietly spreading through the heart, blood vessels, joints, and even the brain. Another important point is that microwaves often heat unevenly, creating small pockets of high heat where proteins and fats become micro-burned, accelerating oxidation. Those dry, rubbery spots or slightly off smells in reheated chicken are clear signs this reaction has occurred. And believe it or not, those tiny changes are the very traces of age formation, the molecules of aging. The solution is very simple. Whenever possible, cook only the amount you'll eat that day. If you have leftovers, store them in an airtight container, let them cool completely before refrigerating, and reheat only once gently on the stove, not in the microwave. Another smart option is to turn the leftover chicken into a cold dish, chop it into salads, sandwiches, or wraps. By avoiding reheating, the protein structure stays intact, making it easier to digest and preventing the formation of inflammatory compounds. Chicken remains an excellent choice rich in nutrients, helping maintain muscle strength and boost immunity for older adults. But its real value doesn't depend on the cut you buy, it depends on how you handle it after cooking. Each time you choose to eat freshly cooked chicken instead of reheating leftovers, you're helping your body reduce inflammation, lower cardiovascular risk, and protect long-term memory. Remember, taking care of your health isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you eat it. By changing one simple habit, avoiding reheating chicken multiple times, you're allowing your body to stay stronger, lighter, and younger every day. Finally, we have mushrooms, a favorite food across all ages. With their rich flavor, soft texture, and ability to blend perfectly into countless dishes, mushrooms appear in everything from vegetable soups and pasta to light stir-fries for dinner. Beyond taste, they're also a true, natural superfood, packed with antioxidants, B vitamins, fiber, and beta-glucans that boost immunity, lower cholesterol, and support heart health. However, few people realize that once mushrooms are cooked and then reheated, especially multiple times or at high temperatures, this healthy ingredient can undergo negative changes, forming compounds that trigger inflammation, digestive discomfort, and even affect brain cell health. To understand why, we need to look at the nature of mushrooms. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms contain a unique type of protein, along with various enzymes and unsaturated fatty acids that are highly sensitive to heat. When mushrooms are cooked the first time, these structures break down in a controlled way, releasing flavor and nutrients. However, if the dish is reheated, especially in the microwave or over high heat on the stove, that breakdown continues, but this time uncontrollably. The result is deeply denatured proteins and oxidized fatty acids, creating unstable compounds that are difficult for the body to process. Scientists call this phenomenon food oxidative stress, when oxygen molecules react during reheating to produce free radicals. Free radicals are the primary culprits behind cellular aging, DNA damage, and many chronic diseases. In older adults, the body's ability to neutralize these radicals declines significantly, making their effects even stronger. According to a study published in the Food Chemistry Journal, mushrooms that were cooked, stored, and then reheated contained 3 to 5 times more oxidative compounds than freshly cooked mushrooms. These compounds can reduce protein absorption, cause bloating or indigestion, and even trigger mild intestinal inflammation. Another key difference is that mushrooms easily absorb moisture and bacteria from their surroundings. If cooked mushrooms are stored too long in the refrigerator, especially in plastic containers or sealed bags, condensation can build up inside, creating an ideal environment for bacterial growth. When reheated, uneven heating may leave some bacteria alive, increasing the risk of digestive upset, bloating, or intestinal infection. These symptoms may seem mild, but over time, They can disrupt the gut microbiome, a system directly linked to brain health and memory through the gut-brain axis. The good news is you don't need to cut mushrooms out of your diet. Just adjust how you cook and store them. When preparing, cook only what you plan to eat that day. If you have leftovers, cool them quickly, store them in a sealed glass container, and keep them refrigerated. Eat them cold or at room temperature instead of reheating. Chilled mushroom salads, cold sandwiches, or mixed rice dishes are just as tasty. If you must reheat, warm them gently on the stove over low heat, never in the microwave. And above all, never reheat mushrooms multiple times. That's the most important rule. Experts in senior nutrition emphasize that how you reheat food is just as important as what you choose to eat. After age 60, your body needs a gentler approach to every meal from digestion to metabolism. A simple dish like mushrooms can be a natural tonic when cooked properly, but it can also become a source of inflammation and oxidative stress if handled the wrong way. Now that you've learned about the 5 familiar foods that can become harmful when reheated, spinach, potatoes, eggs, chicken, and mushrooms, you might be asking yourself, how many times have I unknowingly harmed my own health? That question is completely understandable, because the smallest habits in the kitchen, like putting leftovers in the microwave to warm them up, may seem harmless, yet could be silently weakening your body year after year. But here's what truly matters. You can change all of that starting today. No one can stop the passing of time, but you can choose how you age gently, healthily, and with a clear mind each day. Science has shown that good health in later life doesn't depend solely on medicine or hospital visits. It comes from the smallest daily choices: what you eat, how you cook, and how you store your food. A serving of fresh vegetables instead of reheated leftovers. A meal cooked just right for one sitting instead of making too much to save. A brief pause before pressing the reheat button. These may not seem like big changes, but they are acts of mindfulness, and that mindfulness is what protects your body best. Every time you choose to eat in a healthier way, you're sending your body a message: I still care about you. And your body will respond with better health, more energy, and a sharper mind every single day. Especially for those over 60, smart choices in the kitchen can make the difference between simply living a few more years and living well for many more. Because what we truly seek isn't just a longer life, it's a better life. The kind where every morning you can still brew your own cup of coffee, take a walk, cook breakfast, chat with your grandchildren, and feel the quiet joy of being healthy and fully alive. If you found this video helpful, click like to let us know you're part of the senior health community. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos, all science-based, practical, and made especially for adults over 60. And if you know someone, a friend, a family member, or a neighbor who still reheats their meals every day, share this video with them. Because sometimes one small action from you today can help someone live longer, healthier, and happier. Remember, good health doesn't come from grand actions, but from the small habits you repeat every day. The way you eat today will shape the way you live in the years ahead. So choose wisely, live mindfully, and let your body know you're still walking beside it through every meal, every day, and every season of life.